1970s R&B was a warm glow of satin melodies and street corner harmonies, a decade where rhythm felt like home. These are 15 forgotten gems from the 70s that deserve a second spotlight and maybe even a brand new generation of fans. Think you can name them all? Number 15, Love or Let Me Be Lonely by the Friends of Distinction. This song arrived in 1970 when R&B was blending sunshine pop with vocal group soul in a way that touched both coasts. The Friends of Distinction were coming off the high of Grazing in the Grass and trying to carve out longevity on RCA Records. Buried behind bigger chart storms that year, this track often slips through the cracks, even though it carries that feel-good, Los Angeles warmth the group was known for. One fun detail is how the vocal layering was done in a rapid overnight session because the group had limited studio funds, yet the harmonies feel effortless. Put it on today, and you can almost picture a hazy 1970 afternoon with transistor radios buzzing from porch to porch. It peaked at a modest spot on the charts, but its spirit lingers in modern neo-soul arrangements. If that was soft, sunlit soul, this next one leans into the bittersweet side. Number 14, Baby Let's Talk It Over by The Independents.
I was cold, came along and...
Released in 1972 on Wand Records, this Chicago-based vocal group was at a crossroads. Producer and member Marvin Yancey was just beginning to develop the deep musical instinct that would later help shape Natalie Cole's early sound. The Independents were young, hungry, and navigating a crowded R&B landscape dominated by bigger names, which meant this single never got the radio push it deserved. Yet, when you listen closely, you hear a tender tension beneath the smooth arrangement. The story goes that the group recorded the final vocals after an argument about the track's direction, which ironically gave the performance even more emotional weight. Play it today, and you feel the soft glow of dim apartment lights reflecting off wood-paneled walls. The kind of record that made slow dancing feel like a promise. It left only a small mark on the charts, but a lasting one on those who heard it. And if that was heartbreak smoothed with harmony, the next track brings a little more fire. Number 13, Show Nuff by Sly Slick and Wicked. Cleveland's own Sly Slick and Wicked dropped this jewel in 1973.
First time an exciting new group of entertainers. They are known as the Sly, the Slick, and the Wicked.
Right as the Midwest was carving out its own lane in the R&B world. Signed to Paramount but often overshadowed by heavier hitting East and West Coast acts, the trio never got the commercial lift their harmonies warranted.
So you think you love him, girl?
Behind the scenes, they cut this track in a tiny studio where the air conditioner kept breaking, causing tape hiss that engineers later smoothed out by hand. It is the kind of studio folklore that makes the song feel even more lived in.
1,000 times I tried, yes I really tried.
Spin it today, and you can almost see streetlights glowing on a warm Ohio night, with cruisers rolling slow and windows down as that falsetto drifts into the air.
I've seen times when you worked 8 hard hours on the job. Sure did, and you didn't do nothing.
Though it barely nibbled at the charts, its mellow groove has been sampled by hip-hop producers who knew an underrated classic when they heard one. If that was late-night cruising energy, the next cut hits you right in the heart. Number 12, Heaven Must Have Sent You by Bonnie Pointer. Before her disco era sparkled across dance floors, Bonnie Pointer released this 1978 solo remake of the Elgins classic while on Motown. It was the moment she was stepping away from the Pointer Singers to test her own artistic wings. The label loved the song, but the timing was tricky since the airwaves were shifting rapidly toward late-era disco dominance. In the middle of sessions, a string arranger reportedly added a last-minute flourish that Bonnie adored, but Motown executives debated endlessly.
Thank you for the things you taught me. Thank you for
The final product landed with a unique mix of retro soul and glossy 70s shimmer. Listening now, you feel the glow of a roller rink Saturday night. Neon reflections bouncing off polished floors and hearts beating just a little faster. Though Bonnie found bigger fame later, this gem remains a sweet snapshot of her soul roots. And if that one brought the sparkle, the next track brings some gritty emotional weight. Number 11, Be Thankful for What You Got, by William DeVaughn.
though you may not drive.
Released in 1974 on Roxbury Records, this smooth, unhurried groove came from a man who was not even a full-time musician.
Brothers and sisters,
William DeVaughn was working as a government draftsman in Washington, D.C. when he penned the song, originally called A Cadillac Don't Come Easy. He paid for the initial studio session with his own savings, walking into Sigma Sound Studios in Philadelphia.
diamond in the back, sunroof top, digging the scene with a gangster lean.
During a period when the Philly soul movement was at its peak. The musicians playing on the track included members of the MENFSB collective, though they were uncredited due to contract complications. That little behind-the-scenes detail explains the silky professionalism running through every bar.
TV antennas in the back.
Put it on, and suddenly, you are floating through a warm summer evening in 1974, windows cracked, city lights stretching like glitter. The track did charted well, but is rarely played today. If that was a gentle call for gratitude, the next one is but for romantic yearning. Number 10, Special Lady by Ray, Goodman and Brown.
You gotta be a special lady.
This 1979 release found Ray, Goodman and Brown stepping out from their previous identity as the Moments, trying to reinvent themselves while keeping the harmony-rich tradition alive. Signed to Polydor, the trio recorded this track during a transitional moment when R&B was embracing sleeker production. The recording sessions reportedly took place over only a few days because the group wanted to prove they still had the vocal chemistry listeners adored. One fun nugget is that the soaring background harmonies were improvised on the spot after an engineer suggested they try something more dramatic. Listen now, and you are instantly pulled into a 70s living room with shag carpet under your feet and a stereo cabinet humming with warmth. The song hit the top of the R&B charts, but somehow still feels overlooked today. If that one wrapped love in velvet harmonies, wait until you hear the next groove that carries a bit more street soul. Number 9, We're Getting Stronger by LTD.
Never dreamed of.
Dropping in 1996 as LTD was climbing toward national recognition, this track sits quietly in their catalog behind bigger hits like Love Ballad. Yet, it captures the group at a crucial artistic moment. They were blending jazz-trained musicianship with lush R&B textures on A&M Records, guided by the rising presence of Jeffrey Osborne, whose voice was beginning to turn heads.
Oh, girl, we'll find the
During recording, The band reportedly struggled with the arrangement until a late-night session unlocked the perfect balance of horns and rhythm. You can feel that breakthrough in the final mix. Put it on today, and it transports you to a smoky club with soft red lighting, where couples sway slow, and the world outside seems to disappear. Though it never became a chart crusher, its emotional warmth has influenced many smooth soul acts who followed. If that one felt like a candlelit confession, the next cut brings a touch of down-home grit. Number 8, Somebody's Been Sleeping, by 100 Proof Aged in Soul, released in 1970 on the legendary Hot Wax label. This record came from the brilliant minds behind the Holland Dozier Holland writing team. The song dropped just as the label was trying to prove it could thrive outside the Motown machine, and it gave them a fierce, funky calling card. The group itself was a studio-assembled act, pieced together for maximum vocal punch. One wild detail is that the spoken word intro was improvised during a break while the producers were testing a microphone. They loved the vibe so much they kept it. Play the track now. 3, 5, 4, and you can almost feel the hardwood floors of a Detroit house party vibrating beneath your feet as gossip spreads faster than the bass line. It scored a strong chart spot, but has faded from popular memory. And if that one told a tale of betrayal, the next song drenches you in pure devotion. Number 7, Try Me, I Know We Can Make It, by Dwight T. Ross.
My name is Dwight T., and I believe that it's left up to me to do it my way.
This 1977 gem on the Small Brute Records label never got the promotional push it deserved, which is probably why so many listeners have never stumbled across it. Dwight T. Ross was balancing gospel influences with contemporary R&B during a time when disco rhythms were starting to dominate radio playlists. In the studio, he insisted on recording live instrumentation even though it cost more and took longer than electronic shortcuts. Musicians later said he wanted every note to feel like a heartbeat. Today,
I'm gonna love you always.
When you press play, you get swept into that warm glow of a late 70s night where street lights shimmer on rain-soaked pavement and a hopeful lover walks home replaying the melody in their mind. It never cracked the mainstream charts, but its sincerity keeps it alive among collectors. If that one whispered hope, the next song brings a deep, smooth groove. If these forgotten R&B treasures are bringing back memories, go ahead and tap that like button. It helps keep the music alive and reminds the algorithm that soul still matters. And stay tuned, because we still have 6 more timeless tracks waiting to be rediscovered. Number 6, You and I, by Black Ivory, released in 1971 on Today Records. This tender ballad caught Black Ivory at the very beginning of their journey while they were still teenagers navigating the New York studio scene. Produced by the legendary Patrick Adams, the song carries that unmistakable early 70s sweetness and vulnerability. Because the group was so young, Adams reportedly had to guide them through take after take until their vocals settled into the emotional maturity he knew the song needed. Hearing it now feels like stepping into a dimly lit rec room after a school dance. The air thick with slow dance nerves and the smell of hairspray, the record spinning under a glittering mirror ball. Though the song charted modestly, its heartfelt delivery resonated with dedicated fans and influenced many young harmony groups. If that one swept you into gentle teenage longing, the next cut brings a punchier burst of early 70s swagger. Number 5, I Don't Wanna Be Right by Luther Ingram. This 1972 soul burner on Coco Records became a smash for Luther Ingram. Yet, strangely, The song's legacy has cooled over the decades despite once being a centerpiece of R&B slow jams. Written by the powerhouse trio of Stax writers Homer Banks, Carl Hampton, and Raymond Jackson, it was originally meant for the staple singers. Ingram recorded it almost by accident during a session break and ended up delivering one of the decade's most intense, emotionally conflicted performances. Rumor has it, the spoken monologue near the end was completely unrehearsed, and you can hear that raw truth in every syllable. Put it on today, and it feels like slipping into a heavy night in 1972. Blinds half closed, vinyl crackling, a confession echoing through the room. It topped the R&B charts, but should be talked about far more. If that one stirred your soul, the next track smooths things out with irresistible ease. Number 4, Out to Get You by the Soul Children. The Soul Children released this underappreciated gem in 1973 as Stax Records was heading into its final, turbulent years. The group had already established themselves as powerful storytellers with layered male and female vocals that gave their music a unique emotional dimension. During the recording of this track, tensions at Stax were running high, which gave the performance a tighter, fiercer edge than their earlier hits. Engineers later noted that the slightly distorted vocal track came from a faulty mic, but the group loved the gritty realism it added. Today, listening to it feels like walking down Beale Street just after sunset, neon signs flickering and the smell of barbecue smoke drifting through warm Memphis air. Though it reached the R&B charts, it never became a household name. If that one had you strutting with confidence, the next song wraps you in glowing romantic devotion. Number 3, Kiss and Say Goodbye by The Manhattans.
Let's just kiss and say goodbye.
Released in 1966 on Columbia Records, this slow-burning ballad marked a powerful chapter for the Manhattans as they transitioned into a more polished, orchestrated sound.
I've got ties, and so do you.
While the song eventually became a major hit, it often gets overshadowed today by other 70s staples, despite its emotional depth and gorgeous arrangement. Lead singer Gerald Alston had just joined the group, and this track was one of the first to showcase his lush, velvety tone.
It's gonna hurt me, I can't lie.
The spoken intro was recorded separately because the band wanted it to feel like a confidential whisperer directly into the listener's ear. Legend has it that producer Bobby Martin dimmed the studio lights during the session to pull out every bit of ache and tenderness from the vocals. Put it in now, and you are instantly back in a quiet summer bedroom with a box fan humming and late-night radio guiding you through heartbreak. If that one felt like a farewell letter, the next track shines with calm strength. Number 2, Let's Straighten It Out by Lattimore. Lattimore delivered this simmering classic in 1974 on Glades Records.
That you've heard somebody say, let's straighten it out.
Blending Southern soul grit with sophisticated Miami production. He was already respected in blues and club circuits, but this track was the moment he found his signature sound.
Somebody says, I believe a woman loves stronger than a man.
The recording session famously ran past midnight because Lattimore insisted on getting the keyboard tone just right, adjusting amps and speaker placement until the groove felt like warm honey.
'Cause if it wasn't, you wouldn't be crying.
When you hear it, the room seems to dim around you, and suddenly you are in a 70s lounge with red velvet booths and the steady clink of glasses in the background. Although the song became a chart hit, time has pushed it out of mainstream memory.
Instead of laying there crying, your eyes out.
Its influence can still be heard in quiet storm radio and modern R&B crooners. And trust me, if that one smoothed every wrinkle in your heart, Number 1 brings the deepest kind of soul satisfaction. Number 1, Faded Lady by SSO.
All relations mean vibrations.
This 1976 treasure by the Belgian-based group SSO is one of those R&B-influenced gems that slipped completely through the cracks despite carrying an irresistibly soulful heartbeat.
Faded lady, no forgetting.
Released on Casablanca, the track emerged during a moment when European musicians were embracing American funk and R&B textures with their own unique flair. SSO recorded with a revolving cast of session players, which created a lively, unpredictable energy in the studio. One charming piece of trivia is that the string section was recorded in a separate room with mismatched microphones, which accidentally led to the dreamy, hazy sound that defines the song. Listen today, and you drift into another world entirely. A twilight space filled with soft disco lights, gentle dancers,
Lady, no, she's lost all the dreams.
and that floating 70s melancholy only true crate diggers know. Though it never charted in the US, it has become a beloved underground classic. A fitting crown for this countdown of forgotten 70s soul. From raw Midwest harmonies to Memphis grit and Casablanca glow, these forgotten R&B tracks remind us just how rich and varied the 70s really were. Thank you for taking this soulful ride with me. If you enjoyed the journey, subscribe to keep the groove alive. And be sure to click the end screen to roll into our next video, 15 forgotten 60s R&B songs that deserve a comeback.